Good evening, everyone. Um, I just wanted to come on, and I've been doing a lot of videos, podcasting, and I'm creating something. This is my sanctuary. This is my place where I get to share the very gifts that God has given me the ability to expound on things. Um, so this is my sanctuary. This is my church. This is my gathering. So tonight's topic, the title is Thanking You to All My Clients. And you have truly blessed me in so many ways. As you know, today is April 15th. For those who have not filed their taxes, you will be penalized for two reasons: either failure to file or failure to pay. Failure to pay is when you owe Failure to pay is when you owe taxes and you don't send any money in with the extension form 4868 for the federal extension. And failure to file is when you don't file an extension as of today. But what I wanted to start out with was that I want to thank all my clients. Um, as you know, I am a tax preparer, I am a tax accountant, and I'm pushing more towards a tax professional. What is a tax professional? A tax professional is a person who is not only come up with a strategy plan on what I call education, but there's tax deductions and tax savings, where legally, by the law from the IRS and the codes, legally being able to lower your taxes, legally write off expenses based on the laws. Section Code 162 says ordinary and necessary expenses. Legally, also by the law, being able to pay no taxes by the law, not avoid paying taxes, but legally being able to reduce and save and allow many of you to put more money back in your pocket based on the law, tax laws, and tax codes. So I want to thank a lot of my clients, and the reason why I want to thank them is not only preparing their tax returns, but also many of my clients have their own businesses where I do their bookkeeping. I also do business consultation. What does that mean? I'm able to expound, express, and teach the very things that I know and the very things that I've learned from others, learned from my path of success and failure, and that being an educator, being able to tell them things that they don't know. I am a feeder of the flock, and the flock is my clients. And this is a heavy responsibility that I have because while I am responsible for the words that come out of my mouth, for the people, my clients, they listen to me. My clients, they admire me. My clients, they look up to me. I also teach them credit education. They were to breaking down the credit score and breaking down the credit history for them. I also talk about what is an LLC, business entity formation. So I want to thank my clients for the ones that have come back to me, who's been with me from day one since I've been in Pennsylvania. I want to thank my clients for those who have brought family and friends and business colleagues and have recommended my services to them and have spoke highly of me. I have clients in Pennsylvania, of course. I have clients in New Jersey. I have clients in New York. I have clients in California. I have clients in Louisville, Kentucky. I have clients in Illinois. I have clients in Ohio. I have clients in DC. I have clients in Georgia. I have clients in South Carolina, where my father and my mother is from. And as you know, my mother's deceased, yet my father's still alive. So I have clients in South Carolina. I have clients in New Mexico. So I want to thank the Lord for allowing me and putting me in this position. And I say to myself, wow, a young man who grew up in Albany Projects. No matter where you're from, if you give yourself a chance, you can come out. But some people where they at, it's twice as hard for them to have hope, have dreams. That's why you gotta be very careful how you speak to people. And say that what? Many people are lazy. There are some people where they come from. Like for example, the south side of Chicago or Milwaukee. Here, right here in Philadelphia, North Philadelphia, Kensington, South Philadelphia. When you drive through those areas, it's like a third world country compared to where I came from, Crown Heights, Albany Projects. Yeah, that was surrounded by what? Different cultures. As I mentioned on Eastern Parkway near Kingston Avenue, you had the synagogue. You got the synagogue, the Jewish synagogue sitting right there. So you got the Hasidic Jews when you go past Eastern Parkway. Around the corner from Albany was Virginia Place, where you have a lot of blacks that was from the Caribbean. So compare Albany to Brownsville, Stone Projects, no, it's a whole different world. Or Red Hook, whole different world. So our area was multicultural. Yes. So I am so thankful for my clients because taxes is not an easy thing. Telling people that they owe and why they owe. This business is not an easy business, mentally and emotionally. It wears on you. But I thank the Lord for prosperity and success. I thank the Lord for my clients blessing me and bringing the people to me. It's kind of like when Christ told the disciples, be ye fishers of men. That's heavy. So my clients are fishers. They're going out fishing for me. And what is the bait? The bait is the work that I perform. The bait is the belief that they have in me, that they appreciate me, that they will go on and recommend me to their families and friends. Why? Because when they come to my office, it's my sanctuary. Not only do I prepare the tax returns, but there's a lot of jewels that I drop, which is called life. And several of my clients said, well, Marvin, one of my clients said, you need to be a motivational speaker because you speak with such profound wisdom. I said, no. It would take a lot out of me. This is my sanctuary. This is where I get to speak. So I want to thank all my clients. I want to thank the Most High Power, the God that's in me, the God that I serve. Lord, you are the mastermind working through me and for me. Continuing prosperity for me. Success and prosperity finds me. Success and prosperity. I'm always in the midst of prosperity and success. And are there days when I didn't have? Yes, there was. But I put myself in a position for they will come and seek out me. And I will continue to not only educate myself, but I will continue to bless the masses of the people that come in my presence. Why? Much given is much required. Many of my clients don't only call me up about taxes. Many of my clients call me up about different things that's regarding life. So what I want to say is that being the man that I am, being a leader, an advisor, comes with a lot of responsibility. I have a lot of responsibility. Um, and I welcome the challenge. I welcome the fact that I'm able and I'm blessed to do all things that are given unto me. For the Lord has strengthened me and has given me the stamina, the strength. And at times, do my clients get on my nerves? Yes, they do. They really do. But I realize it comes with this. It comes the a lot of times I'm challenged. There have been clients that have challenged me because a lot of times I believe that a lot of people will witness to this. When you are a type of person who are insightful, who has who has who's intelligent, it can make others insecure. It can make others jealous. It can also make people despise you because you always got one. I always have one up on them. Life is like a chessboard to me, and the reason why is not because I'm better than them, but I put myself in a position to be great for me. So that what makes me who I am. And I thank the Lord for putting me in this position. I really truly thank my clients. Um, this tax season has been a true blessing. And another blessing to this tax season was when I was chosen by TurboTax as a verified pro to do tax returns for TurboTax. And I was like, wow, I've come a long way. And my journey as far as my professional life has been something profound. Never came from a family of business owners. However, a young man like myself, God has truly blessed me to whatever I put my mind to, I can build on it. I can expound on it. I've been truly blessed because I don't really have people who I can turn to. I'm like a wise man on an island by itself. Everybody comes to me. I'm not saying that to be arrogant, but that's the position that I put myself into. And you have to be very careful. That's why I don't trust anyone. That's why the story of Jesus on the Last Supper is deep, if you really go into the depth of it. See, there'll be many people that will eat at your table. Many people. All kinds of people will eat at your table. That's why you have to be careful who you break bread with. Again, many people will eat at your table. That's what that meant. You never know what a person's ulterior motives are. That's why I said wise as a serpent. The one is able to come in and blend in. And you don't know what their true intentions are. That's why sometimes you have to move in silence. So I'm thankful for my clients. I'm thankful for them bringing recommending me and bringing clients to me, bringing their family. I had one client today. I've done her sister, and her sister recommended me to her daughter. Her daughter recommended me to her friend, and her sister, who I do taxes for, she brought her mother to me. Ain't that is that not a blessing? Oh yeah. And many of my clients leave reviews for me on Google, Better Business Bureau. I have over 80 reviews. Um, and these reviews have come from some of these reviews are not reviews on accounting or bookkeeping or credit education. These reviews are on how I've touched many people's lives just by the words that I spoke and how I have where some of my clients don't have hope or faith, but my strength and my leadership as a man makes them feel comfortable that they will call me just to see what I think and run it past me. Do I charge them? No. So when I say I'm a receiver, I am receiving. Yeah, I'm receiving the people. And they give unto me. And how do they give unto me? When they bring other people to me. That's how they bless me. So being able to touch different subjects, and I could talk about religion, I could talk about non-religion. I can break the Bible down because I read it back and forth and I actually studied it. And I can't go into more detail, but at one time I was at the height of my life with that. Um, Not just the accounting, but the bookkeeping, business itself, on my thinking and how I prepare myself and my vision. And one time I had a low point in my life back in 2016. And I wrote a little poem about it, put it on Facebook. And every year around December, Facebook always give you what called memories. And I wrote it and put it. I had also put it on Evernote and I saved it. Evernote is like Microsoft Note, where you can take notes, and you whatever you write down. Like I wrote a lot of my poetry in Evernote. If I have a if I like I went on a meeting this week, I was able to type in Microsoft Notes, take some important notes. So for that reason, like I said, I'm thankful, man. Truly thankful. So at that point, that was a low point in my life. I was always, I was always, I was homeless for a minute, and maybe for like a day or two, um, when I came to Philadelphia. So one day I'll share a business story, but not to go deep into it. And that was a test right there for me that I can make it anywhere. I could be in a shoebox and think my way out of this. You can put me in a foxhole. I'm gonna get out of it because God has given me the ability to think. God has given me the ability to have insight, and He's also given me the ability to be able to move it. And no matter what was going on, you would have never known about it until I told you. But to be able to go from A, leave all that crap at A, and just go out to B and just focus and excel. And that was a test, being able to excel in spite of the hell that I was going through. Being able to excel in hell, even at my lowest point and getting back up. I'll never forget it. It's a constant reminder to me. And there was those people that was there for me. You know who you are. But like I said before, I thank God for, you know, creating a business. I've had several businesses. One was accountability bookkeeping service. that was fresh. I want to thank the man that gave me the opportunity. His name was Mr. Paul Adams. He was a CPA, and that's why I'm not the type of person that say, "Well, no, I've been blessed by white people. I've been blessed by black people. I've been blessed by people from India." So whatever the Lord has in store for you, you don't block your blessings by the way you think. Oh, the white man, no, that's a lie for me. I can't subscribe to that. I know what has happened in my life and how certain people have played a major part. A lot of it was not always family. It was friends and those that was outside my family and friends. Those people that who I've come in contact with have given me a chance. And a lot of times when you're on the road to prosperity, you are gonna get taken advantage of. Why? Because you're trading that in. You're trading being taken advantage of for to get to where you got to go. Even information that you need. So I thank the Lord for my clients. And I want to say thank you to them. I got more tax returns to do. I'm not done. I filed a lot of extensions today, and my clients love it. I tell them, this is what I'm gonna do. As long as I file them, and I can proceed on. So I have a lot more tax returns on my table. I got tax returns appointments through TurboTax, and sometimes I've gone over it to November. I got people bringing me 2 or 3 years of tax returns. I'm a problem solver. I am a fixer. I am a man of solutions. I'm a man of vision. I'm a man of knowledge, a man of understanding and wisdom. I could take something that you say and expound on it. And when I get through, I paint a very clear picture of what I'm expounding on. I love to take people's idea and just expound on it. And their idea is like potter's clay to me. I'm like an artist with a brush, and the world is my canvas. And I'm able to take someone's idea and express it in such a way that brings clarity to them. Not every client is going to go along with what I say. Not everyone, not everyone will go along with me. I'll be a liar and say, well, you know what? Everyone that come in contact with me, they no. Trust me. I met some assholes. Trust me. I met con artists, gangsters, even a prostitute coming in my office talking about a tax return. So I get in front of these people, but I thank the Lord for just allowing me to get up every day. And I'm always motivated, but I thank the Lord for the fruits of my labor that I see it. Um, so I say to everyone, don't block your blessings by the way you think. If the Lord is blessing you, be careful and be mindful for the words that come out of your mouth. Because the words that come out of your mouth shall not come back void. James said, in the tongue is life and what? Death. The words that you speak, you give them life. You also speak death. And I'm not talking about death and dying. I'm talking about death in terms of you're killing life by speaking words of death. So when the Lord is blessing you and you are blessed, take that blessing in. A lot of you don't know how to take that blessing in. Live in that moment. Let that moment fill you up. Stop humbling yourself all the time. There's nothing wrong with living in joy when most of you, all that you're not living is in pain. And if others are successful, stop trying to kill their shine. Let them live in that moment. Because a lot of you are jealous, you're envy, you're hateful. You don't want to see somebody in that state. First thing come out your mouth, oh, you need to humble yourself. Humble what? That person is in their glory. Let them live in it. Don't you want the same thing for you? But see, you gotta remember, everybody don't want the same thing for you. That's why you ain't meant to share your blessings with everybody neither. I don't believe in sharing my blessings with everybody. I just don't. Cast out that pearl, what? To swine. The pearl represents something that's valuable to you, to those that are unworthy. Because everybody ain't here to share your blessings with you. And you gotta get out of that mindset. Yes, they all gonna be people that hate you. They're gonna be jealous. What can you do about it? It's life. Deal with it. But be aware of it. A lot of you surprised, oh, that person crossed me. No. You know how they are. If I put you in the cage with a tiger, what do you think is gonna happen? Eventually that tiger gonna kill you. He might, because he ain't kill you quick. That don't mean he ain't killing you softly. So, like I said, going back to my clients, what I want to say to each and every one of you out there is it's so important that you educate yourself. So many of you lean on your own understanding, your own emotions to anybody that says something to you on the news about the rich, you get upset. If you see people that are prosperous, you get upset. You're so upset that you won't allow yourself to be happy. Educate yourself. But many of you are distracted by Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok. There's nothing wrong with going on there. I go on there. But I don't live on there. There's a difference. There are people that live on Facebook every day. They are posting every day. Think about this. The more pictures that you post, yet you don't have identity theft protection. Don't you know people can steal your identity through your pictures? Every day you're on Facebook. A lot of your social media addicts who are addicted to social media. If you go on to dinner, you got to post that. If you and your wife is going out, you got to post your vacation. I think as a man, I'm private. I don't want nobody to know where I'm at and what I'm doing. A lot of you are social media addicts who are addicted to social media. You are addicted to attention. You are addicted to affection. And you are addicted to what people think about you. Some of you cannot live off of Facebook or social media. You're posting every day. Every day. Every day. You have to see. I go on social media, but I don't live on social media. I got things to do. Yeah. Facebook don't pay me, but allow me to go live. I thank God for that. So when I'm going live, I'm building not only a channel, but I'm making videos that can inspire, teach, and uplift people. I can talk about relationships. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, yeah. I can talk about breaking down. I'm not a religious man, but I grew up in the Baptist church and know the Bible. And at one time, for those who know me, know what I was. And I was heavy into it, man. Heavy into it. There are certain people that know what I was into. And I was heavy into it. And I was a bad mother. in that Bible. You couldn't mess with me. And you still came back with me to this day. Why? Because I studied to show myself approved, put on the whole armor. I could break down Genesis. I could break down the Garden of Eden. And I broke it down for a woman right here on Old York Road at Craft Thursday. I was having a drink. And I broke down Adam and Eve on a different level. She said, I never heard it like that before. I broke down the creation of man. So I know what I can do. But that's for me to know. Every now and then I have a little fun with it. But I'm spiritual. That means I am free to serve God as a man. I am free within God to seek the knowledge. I can read up about Islam, Buddha, Hindu, Baptist, Jehovah's Witness. I can read about this knowledge, but not attach myself to their religion. I am free. I'm a free man. I have been given liberty to believe what I believe with no restrictions. That's what spirituality means to me. I am not restricted, and the God that's in me is the God that I serve, who's given me the insight. I am free. I am not bound or restricted by religion. And for those who are, I can't knock you. That's what you believe. But I can sit at the table with many different people and have a conversation. I can talk about sports. I can talk about science. I can talk about love. I can talk about relationship. I can talk about sex, philosophy. I have a very interesting opinion on things. And as I've gotten older, my mind and my perspective have changed deeply to the point where I've had discussions with people and have made them think from my perspective. Not force, but just think for a moment. That's all you got to do. See, a lot of you are afraid. A lot of you are afraid to read anything that's outside the Bible. See, that's not a wise man. A wise man, this world got so much knowledge. It's not in one book. That's where you've been brainwashed at. This world is vast. And if you believe in God, how can one book contain them? See, I believe in God, God man, and God woman, because there can be no man without the woman. I'll go into that later. There can be no man without the woman. The woman gave birth to what? Both the lawful man and the sinner. She gave birth to the pimp. She gave birth to the prostitute. She gave birth to the electrician and the HVAC man, the construction man, the accountant, the tax preparer. Did she not give birth to them? So how can you minimize the woman? In Hermetic philosophy, it says that what's below, what's beneath is above. This world reflects the world that's above us. So what you have to say? A lot of you running around, oh God, 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 God. If you were to draw a picture of God, then he would be like a hermaphrodite, right? No, but think about it. I'll break down Genesis and I'm gonna go into it. I'm gonna really go into that. Because I don't believe there's one God, and that's my opinion. Every man or woman represent the God that they come from. And I'm gonna talk about that. And I'm gonna expound on that. But what I want to come and talk about tonight, what I want to give thanks to all my clients. The ones that I have and the ones I haven't met yet. The Lord said, I go prepare a table before thee. What's my table? Prosperity and success. What's on my table? Tax preparation, tax professional, bookkeeping, accounting, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. And my table has nothing but prosperity. So he said, I go prepare a table before thee. My table look beautiful. It has what? Health, happiness, prosperity, success, money, respect, and the abundance of all things on my table. My table look beautiful. It's decorated beautiful. So I'm so thankful. So I want to get off here, get ready to relax, get up in the morning, go back to my taxes and go work out in the morning and stuff, and going back to taxes. I had made a video about uh, health and why you black men out there, especially black men out there, man, listen, go to the dentist, not just for when your teeth ache or hurt. Go to the dentist for cleanings and go to the dentist for x-rays to make sure that you don't have caries. Get the older you get, your teeth start to decay from you. Take care of your teeth, man. A lot of you black men out there, go test your prostate. Go get a colonoscopy. A lot of you black men out there, go to a cardiovascular doctor and check your heart. Because a lot of you, there's no excuse as a man why a woman got to make a doctor appointment for you. That's not your mama. As a man, you appreciate her doing it, but it's your responsibility to go to the doctor. It's not hers. Why should she take you to the doctor? You're a grown-ass man. So a lot of you black men out there, it's time for you to get up on your ass and take control of your health, man. Go to test your, see if you got diabetes. There's a lot of black men that dying from kidney failure. There's a lot of black men that dropping dead from heart attacks because you don't go to the doctor. I have a cardiovascular doctor. I'm a diabetic. I got high blood. I recently was discovered with arthritis, a little bit arthritis. Arthritis came from years of working out. When I was 17, that's when I first started working. I used to work out at 50th Avenue Gym in Brooklyn. And I used to work out 6 days a week. And at that time, I was lifting free weights, iron. I was bench press at 315. So right now I'm 230. Back there during that time, I had to be like about 250. Yeah, I was a big motherfucker, boy. Pardon my French. I mean, but I never showed it. I wasn't one of those guys that walked around with tank tops and all that. But when I took my shirt off one time, I'll never forget it. What happened? People were amazed how big I was. But you can see because I have broad shoulders too. You can see you could actually see it. But when I took my shirt off one time, people really saw what it was. It wasn't walking around to be arrogant, to be a show off. I always wore a lot of sweatshirts. I wasn't one to walk around showing my arms and everything, but people saw it. And I think people respected me for who I was at that time. So from 17 to have my first child at 27, I was really into the gym. Then I recently went back a year, 2 years ago, and my body looks like it was back there during that time. But I don't work out as heavy. I just do calisthenics. So I do arm curls. I work my arms, my triceps. I do dip machine. I do bench press machine. I don't bench press anymore. I do leg press to me, which is leg. I do leg press. I do hamstring curls. And when you see me, like, damn, my chest looks like what it used to be. If I was to go back I can't go back into heaven because I got responsibility, but I'm back to where I used to be. I'm 230 pounds and not fat, muscular, big muscular man. Bigger than Mike Tyson. I've always been bigger than Mike Tyson. I'm 5'9". At that time, I was weighing 250. Yeah, I was a big, oof. Now I'm 5'9", 230, 232. One guy was joking me at the gym. I said, man, you play for the San Francisco 49ers? I So I'm giving you a visual why he said that. So, but to all of you out there, I want to come on live and say, you know what, man, listen, live your life, enjoy life. But to you black men out there, man, look after your health, man. Go to the doctor, um, and your woman is not supposed to be making appointments for you as a man. Not saying that you don't appreciate it, but as a man, get up off your ass and take control. That's not your mama. Even though she's doing it, after a while she get tired of it. She's not your mama. Mama do it no matter what. That's what's wrong with you, a lot of you men. You're looking for your mama. No, there's only one mama. Mama love unconditional. Mama come with the unconditional love. Your wife love you. Your wife don't love you unconditional. She love you with condition. No matter how you do, mama, she will always let you back home. See, you could cry in front of mama and don't feel weak like a man, but you won't do that in front of your woman if you're afraid that she won't respect you. Mama love you. Mama love is unconditional love. Your wife love you with conditions. Mama is the only woman that will share you with other women. What do I mean by that? I'm not saying nothing nasty. But mama don't mind. She'll share you. That don't mean she ain't gonna buck up. But mama always be there for you. Especially if you got a good mother. Right. So that's what I mean. My mother was good. So when I speak, I'm speaking from my perspective. And I know some other people got the same perspective. I say good night to everybody. Marvin Smith, if you want to reach me, you can reach out to me at info@SBFS LLC or go to my website, www.sbfsllc or phillybusinesstax.com. So I say good night to everybody. A lot of you didn't make the filing deadline today for taxes. However, don't forget to file your taxes. You know why? Because those who are looking to go buy a house, or if your kid want to go to college and try to get financial aid, you need to have up-to-date tax returns. All right? So good night to everyone. Peace, love, and hair. Well, I'm back. I am back. I'm back. So I decided to come back. I've been away for a while. So basically, it's good to be back on Restream. It's been a while. I haven't made videos in a while. I've been very busy. So what I wanted to talk about was a lot of people that I have encountered with, and I want to say this. Back in 2020, there was laws that was made in terms regarding payroll in the W-2, where the W-2 prior to 2019, the W-2 looked different. The W-4, I'm sorry, the W-4 is what you get when you're applying for a job, and that's a document that payroll gives you. And you're telling your payroll company on what is your filing status and what's your withholdings. So what I realized is that they had lowered the withholding rate, which made you bring home more money on your paycheck, but your refunds became smaller. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you're head of household. You have 2 children. So on the W-4, box 1 is the information. You put your name, your address, your social security. Then, let's see, can I remember clear? There's a box 2. I don't have it in front of me. But then there's box 3, 4. Box 3 is your dependents. So let's say you have 2 children, and it's $2,000 per child. you're gonna put 4,000, and then you put your filing status as head of household. So what that means is that they're gonna take out less taxes because you're taking the credit up front versus taking it later. So the standard deduction reduces your income. So it adjusts the income. Credits, which is called refundable credits, like child tax credit. Let's say you get the what are the credits? Retirement savings credit. So any credits which are refundable is going to reduce the tax liability. So now, if you take the advancement up front by putting down, instead of leaving that blank, and you put down you have two children, that's $4,000. So that means you're gonna bring home less. So at the end of the year, when you file your taxes, you already took an advancement on you paid less. You're gonna end up owing. And the reason why I'm talking about that is I had a young lady that she was upset, she was crying. And she had went on TurboTax and she did a tax return. She proceeded to do it. She didn't process it by clicking to file the federal or the state to e-file it. So she comes to me and I said, what's wrong? She said TurboTax said that I want to owe $4,000. So I said to her, well, let me see your W-2. When I looked at her W-2, I saw in box number 2. Box number 2. So the W-2 has the boxes that's above, and then below is the state from box 15 all the way up to box 15 is the state, right? So it starts from box number 16, all your state wages, 17, 18, 19, and 20 is the locality. So box 2 is what I was looking at because it said that she owed the federal $4,000. So if I owe the federal $4,000, I'm going to look at box 2. And there was nothing there. And she said, what happened? So I said, well, let me look at it. And then I went and did the tax return, and I confirmed it. But I was able to tell her why she owed. And the reason why she owed was, I talk about this. Growing up as children, our parents never taught us about taxes, credit, or even finances. They never even taught us about stocks and bonds because they didn't own those things. You didn't learn it in church at all. You didn't learn it in public school, middle school, high school. And even when you went to college and did accounting, you took up accounting, you did. But you didn't really go into taxes, or they didn't teach us about credit. So now you're only copycatting or doing what our parents did. So now we have to, as they learn on their own, we have to learn on our own. It doesn't diminish our parents at all, but what it was is there was a lack of knowledge in those areas that we inherited. So when we became an adult, it plays out in our life until some of us say, well, you know what? Let me go get the knowledge. So instead of complaining and being a victim, go get the knowledge. And what I want to say on that is there's a lot of cases that I see where when I'm doing a tax return, there was one client, she got a refund last year. But what I realized is that a lot of people are filling out the W-4s wrong. They're filling them out wrong. And you really don't have a physical HR department, which stands for Human Resource Department. There's no physical staff there to take the paperwork and look at it and go over it with you and ask you questions. Because now everything is online or through an online portal. You're no longer getting paper pay stubs anymore. Even when you do direct deposit, you would get a voided you would get a voided check along with your pay stub, because at that time people will want to look at their pay stub to make sure that what their pay stub was correct. That their pay stub might show zero federal, zero state. That means you're going to take out more and bring home less. So what a lot of people did is, um, during that time, before everything went technology wise in the world that we live in, and everything is so more sophisticated today, people was more conscious back there during that time. Nowadays, where, for example, ADP, every employee have their own login where they can go on and access their pay stubs. So you really don't have a physical HR department anymore. Everything is done through a portal. And so with that said and done, back in 2020, I read it. What the government did was they lowered the withholding rate, the withholding rate. So now people was coming home with more money on their paycheck, but their tax refund was getting smaller. I'll say it once again. The withhold During 2020, they changed the laws as far as payroll and everything, and they lowered the withholding rate. That means that you will bring home more. You will bring home more take-home pay. However, when you went to go file your taxes, you got a smaller refund, because really during the year you took more money in exchange for what? A smaller refund, or you owe taxes. Then what they did was they got rid of the itemized deductions, what you could itemize. Let's say medical expenses. That's an itemization. Let's say charitable contribution, where you either donate cash or gifts to a charitable organization that's accepted by the IRS. Or people that go to church, they get the tithes, they get a statement in a year, and they will bring it to the us or the tax accountant to now file it with their return. So what the government did, they gave us what they call the standard deduction for single, head of household, married filing joint, married filing separate, and qualifying widow with dependents. 5 filing categories, right? So these 5 filing categories automatically, since many people don't have itemized deductions, automatically you get the standard deduction. So for single, it's roughly around 13,870. For married filing joint, it's 27,700, and you take half of that. If you do a married filing separate, it's the same thing as married filing single, 13,800, something of that nature. Then you have head of household. I believe that's like around 18,000. I don't have the numbers in front of me, so that automatically adjusts your income. So if you made 50,000 and you're single at 13,000, you take 13,870 minus your 50,000 that you made for the year. Whatever's left over, that's your adjusted gross income. Then any other adjustments, like for example, it could be school tuition. Those are adjustments. I'm trying to think of some other adjustment. Mortgage interest, but then you have your credits, which is the earned income credit. You have retirement savings credits. Um, you might have an electric vehicle. Okay, solar panels. Those are different credits. So credits reduce the tax liability, while the standard deduction are called adjustments that reduce goes towards the income. Correct. So now what's happening is a lot of people nowadays are owing, and they don't know why. Um, so it's kind of hard to explain to people when they're upset. And the thing about it, I was talking to somebody. I said the thing is what people have to understand is that There's four levels, I would say. One is employees, which has the highest income tax rate up to over 35%. The second one is called self-employed. Self-employment. These are people that own a business, such as a sole proprietor, a single member LLC, or a partnership, which pays self-employment tax of 15.3%. Third is the corporate tax. And at one time when Donald Trump was president, it was at 21%. I think it's roughly today like around 26%. And last but not least is the passive income. Real estate investors. I'm going to use them as an example, which has a lower rate of 15.3%. So I was talking to her. I said that when you own something, you own a business, you own properties, let's say you own stocks and bonds. Stocks represent ownership into a company, bonds represent your loaning money. And I'm going to use a business and your own properties to make it simple. Your tax return is going to be different than someone who was single, head of household, married. They just have children, but they don't have a business. Their return is totally different. But what the issue is that people are frustrated. They go by what they hear, and for a lack of knowledge, not a pursuit of information, they reject this information based on how they feel. So the connection comes down to, well, I feel that taxes are bad, even though I have an advantage and can do things that you can't do. But it's that connection from an emotional standpoint is why we're connecting. So I'm thinking that what? You and I are the same. No, we're not. So that's why it's important that you understand out of all these four things that I mentioned: employee, self-employment, a corporation, a corporate business, and passive income, right? So each one is different. And that's why when you reach a certain level where you're making a lot of money, you think about buying properties, you owning a business, you don't go to H&R Block. You don't do it on TurboTax, Credit Karma. That's not where you file your taxes at. People that has ones that they just work, they have no dependents, they don't have a business, they don't own any properties, they'll go to H&R Block, they will go to TurboTax, they'll do Credit Karma, because really their returns are very simple. But when you reach that level of you own something and you have properties, or you invested into properties, or you're buying properties, or you have a rental property where you have tenants, or a lot of you have Airbnb. There's another one called VROB, and I don't get the acronym of that, but a lot of you have Airbnb. A lot of you have property where you have tenants in there, either paying rent, or they're Section 8, or they're veterans for the Veterans Administration, where they get government assistance, or people that's on SSI, where now Section 8 is paying 95% of the rent. So you're in a different situation. Now you feel that, okay, taxes are this or that. No, the tax laws was created for you to pay as little taxes as you can. But you'll never understand that. Why? Because the Lord says something deep. And this is universal principle. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So if they lack the knowledge, they're not going to pursue the information. I'll say it once again. When you're lacking knowledge, you're not going to pursue the information. because what you're going to reject the information. And I see that every day. Um, I see that with a lot of entrepreneurs. Everybody want to form an LLC. Everybody form. Well, why did you do it? I don't know why. I just want to form an LLC. A lot of people are forming partnerships. Why you do it? I don't know why. So you're going on LegalZoom and all these other outlets to do them. It's better to come to somebody like an attorney. And that's what they specialize in. Pay the money. Trust me. Pay the money so that you can be headed in the right direction. Because life is a classroom. We all must pay tuition. Even when you're ignorant, that comes with a cost. When we make mistakes, that comes with a cost. When we're prosperous, that's come with a cost. So that's why it's important for each and every one of you is to become aware. Don't give a blind eye. Don't turn your ear away. Don't get frustrated. You too can learn, but you have to be willing to learn. But as long as you are frustrated, angry, resentful, playing victim, then knowledge can never come into the space that you're in. Because your space has been already filled up with what? Hurt, anger, disappointment, hate. So how can knowledge come into your space if you are not making any space for it to enter? And the reason why a lot of you are not successful is because of you. You're too busy trying to please everybody. You're too busy trying to please everyone. You're too busy trying to love everyone. You're too busy trying to be unselfish. You're not going to get nowhere. A lot of you, and I have this phrase, it says, learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. And I have another one that says, dream, create, believe, inspire, love. A lot of you are getting in your own way. A lot of you are doing things because what you hear from other people without doing your own research. There's a lot of scams out here. I had one client who went into franchising. Franchising is like buying another job. They allow you to have a name and a tax ID number. Well, you didn't realize that you have to pay franchise fee and royalties for the life of the deal. And then what happens is he had a cleaning business. So the company, which is the franchisor, they're already brokered the deal. Then what happened? They hire you as what? An independent contractor. So you have to have a legal entity, which is, I recommend an LLC, because the LLC creates a separation and an added protection. And the protection. Then you go get a tax ID number from the IRS. Then you open up a business bank account because you can't commingle funds anymore. Then once you do that, you have to go get an accountant to set up your books. Because you need to know how much money is coming in versus how much money is going out. You need to be able to read financial statements and what statement that you read it from. So he said, well, I'm not making no money. No, you're not going to make money. I don't knock your ambition. But how long does ambition last when there's no money coming in? I say once again, your desires and your ambition will dry up in the long run. Because when there's no money coming in and you can't pay your bills and you got your wife looking at you different, and I always tell you, love don't conquer all. That's a lie. Let there be problems in your home. Money. You cannot take money out of the equation. Money's part of the foundation. You can't have no money and bad credit. It don't make it. Now all of a sudden now the rent is not being paid or being threatened not to be paid. The light bill, the gas bill, hell, the car note. Why? Because you got into something without doing any research. You went in there what I call blind faith. You was blind because you're a follower. But it says faith without works. You didn't put in the work, the research. Because you was told that what? You shouldn't work for somebody. Well, ask yourself this question. As long as you're on this earth, you're going to be working for someone or with someone. When you own a business, who do you think you work for? You work for your client. It don't change. It don't change. So a lot of people go out and become entrepreneurs. I'm not saying don't do it, but put the work in and do the research before you step out there. Because there's a difference when you work when you work at your job, you guarantee a salary unless you get laid off or let go. Now the roles are reversed now. You was complaining about being mistreated, unappreciated, never got a raise. So now the role, you're taking on the role of your boss, whom the one that you was complaining about. Now you're on your own. Guess what? Now you understand the cost of hiring an employee. So the same complaint that you had when you were working for somebody else, guess what? What goes around come around. Now you're complaining. You can't afford health. You can't afford health insurance because there's not enough money coming in. So now you gotta go get health savings off the market to the marketplace. Now all of a sudden, now you got clients. You was making $35 an hour. Now you're not making 35 because I always say that people don't mind paying you because it gives them power over you. But when you see another business owner such as yourself, now it's on equal playing fields because knowing that you have the power and the control over someone versus not having that is totally different than how you deal with each other. So I'm not saying don't go out and have, go out and have, go out and do. But do your research. Don't say, oh, you know what, God told you, no. Do the research first before you do something. Before you know what you're getting yourself into. Everybody wants to create a business. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot. Sometimes there's going to be days you don't want to do it. There's going to be clients that's going to bullshit you. You might not get paid. Oh, yeah. Clients that might try to lowball you. Sometimes the more you know makes that client more insecure. And that client, in the beginning, yeah. But then he'll be calling you 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, early in the morning, on the weekends. Oh, I got to ask you a question. Now, guess what happens? Your power has been broken now because you never drew a line in the sand. So now that person, they have 24/7 access to you. And guess what? They're paying you the least amount of money. But the client that's paying you more, he or she don't act like that. The client that's paying you less will have more demands on you. And they never say thank you or even give you a cup of coffee. And at the end of the year, they don't give you a gift card. They don't say nothing to you. But they always got their hand out. So I'm going to get back to what I want to be doing more videos. And As I speak about this, it's important that you get the knowledge, get the understanding, because now there's so much information in the world, and you say yourself, well, how do I decipher what's true and what's not? Um, I think many people don't learn. Many people don't study the lesson; they become the lesson. I say it again: many people don't study the lessons; they become the lesson because they are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, which means what? They're not going to pursue the information because the information is here. There's no excuse. And it's very important that you need to at the beginning of every year, you need to go over your W-4 to make sure to make sure that it's properly done. If it's not properly done, then you need to go out and seek advice or help from someone. Because I guarantee you, when you know that you owe the federal, we owe taxes, that is not a nice conversation to have. And 9 out of 10 is because of you. It's because of you. The world is changing. Yes, it is. Now we have AI intelligence doing everything. So I say good night to everybody. Sleep well, be well. I wish everyone health, happiness, prosperity, success, money, and the abundance of all things. Good night.